Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
There's a warning that more than 1 million children in England who rely on free school meals are at risk of going hungry over the summer holidays. There's no alternative system provided outside of term time, and many families rely on charities to keep food on the table. Fraser Maud reports.
Every day during the 6-week school summer holiday, the volunteers from Kingdom Outreach in Blackburn will prepare, package and distribute 1,000 lunches. There are over 1 million UK children who qualify for school meals, but there's no government provision for them out of term time.
We know it's difficult in that the huge support that free school dinners gives during the term time is taken away. We know it gets more difficult as food banks report bigger demands on their stores as holidays go towards their end. And we also know from teachers that pupils come back hungry and have lost quite a lot of the learning beforehand and taking a month to actually catch up from where they were before they actually left for their school holidays.
For some children, these bags of sandwiches, drinks and fruit might be the only balanced meal they get today.
It's so sad that this is needed in today's day and age, because you would expect the government to do something about this problem, and you just wouldn't expect this problem to exist in the 21st century.
YouGov figures have previously shown that almost a third of parents on lower incomes had skipped at least one meal during the summer holidays so their children could eat. Almost 2/3 said they couldn't always afford food when their children were no longer entitled to free school meals. And the Trussell Trust, which runs more than 400 food banks, says it provides around 4,500 more emergency food supplies in the summertime than in term time. The council-run Livesey All-Age Centre gives out over 50 of Kingdom Outreach's lunch bags every day. For mum of 5, Sarah Machel, the meals make a huge difference.
I've saved some money, so this weekend we're going to go to a fun fair in Kirby, and I've got a bit of extra money to spend on them this weekend. So I've found that it has been good that way, saving a bit of money, and made sure they've had some dinner as well.
The Welsh Government has pledged £500,000 to tackle the issue with lunch and fun clubs. In Scotland, it's also being addressed, but not in England.
I'm angry about a lot of things that are going on with the cuts that we're having to provide. We know we could provide, and we do provide, some excellent services in this borough, and I'm sure through many others, but we could do so much more.
The charities say child poverty is becoming a national disgrace, and that unless the government takes action soon, there'll be an even greater need for schemes like this. Fraser Maud, Sky News, Blackburn.
Well, joining us now to discuss this is Imran Hussain from the Child Poverty Action Group. Good afternoon to you. Why do you think more than 1 million children potentially are going hungry during the summer holidays?
Well, look, we know that raising children on a low income is tough every day of the year, but summer has its own particular challenges. So we know that those kids who are on free school meals obviously don't get those free school meals over the summer, and they're worth about £10 a week per child. So that really stacks up, it really adds up, you know, when you think about how fast inflation is rising, particularly food inflation, which forms a bigger part of the shopping basket for families on low income than for other families. So you see families lose the money from free school meals, but they also have to think about the extra costs around the summer, such as paying for childcare. It's a huge expense, or even doing the things that other families take for granted, going on day trips, going to fun fairs. You know, all those costs add up. So summer is a real headache for families on low income, on the income side and on the spending side.
So what's the solution? Because you can't increase the income of these families overnight.
Well, I mean, your report showed some of the examples, examples of what some of the voluntary organisations are doing, big and small, to try to step in and help those families. And you know, they're doing a great job, but you know, as a country, I think we've got to aspire to something a bit more than sort of feeding stations for the poor in the summer. So I think what we'd want is firstly making sure that benefits for families, for working families on low incomes or families out of work, are a sensible, decent level. At the moment, they're not. So look at children's benefits. While the state pension has risen by a fair bit in recent years, the value of child benefit over this decade will have fallen by 23%. So there's something there about making sure that we catch up on children's benefits. I think that's a really important thing to do. The other area, in terms of action, as well as income, is look what can we do on the cost side to help families, what we call for as an organisation, Child Poverty Action Group, what we are calling for are extending some more extended schools. So at the moment, schools typically, they're from 9 till 3.
Imran Hussain, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much. That's a suggestion to extend school.